The Weekly Warp Pipe.
Rocking and rolling. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Weekly Warp Pipe. We're going to be diving in, talking about the mall in the 90s, hanging out at the mall, the stores, the food court, and all that fun stuff. We'll get to that with our main topic. And of course, we have a bunch of our segments in between there. It's going to be a good show for sure. What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome.
Howdy.
Good morning, I guess, for
Good morning.
everybody.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Morning, good evening.
Maybe
good
watching it in
afternoon.
the morning.
they should be. It drops at 9 o'clock. You should be right on the money watching right away.
Right?
Right.
Alarm set.
What was the line from the Truman Show? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or something like that?
No, and if I don't see you, like good night or something. It was one of those. If I don't see you,
I don't know. Anyways, hello, everybody. How are you? Hope everyone's having a good week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Yeah, doing okay. It's been a little bit chaotic. It's been a little busy. I just booked the Airbnb for the Chicago trip for the Chicago Toy Show. We go in the middle of April. There's going to be like 8 to 10 of us in a house. So we ended up renting this house. It's got like 9 beds or something like that, and it's actually pretty cheap considering like there's 10 of us or so, because it was like $1,800 for 3 days. But like because there's 10 of us, we only end up paying like, I don't know, it's like $100, or no, I'm sorry, like $160 a piece or something like that
right?
for 3 days. So it's way cheaper than a hotel. And we get to like bring in food and just hang out and, whatever.
Right, have a
So,
kitchen, yeah, and all that.
yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I like, and we're all together too, as opposed to being in a hotel where we're all spread apart. So that's pretty sweet. And then this past weekend, I went to Massachusetts with my friend Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to the Great American Toy Show that Sprooch and our buddy Mike and our buddy Josh were vending at.
Okay.
Hopefully all 3 of them are coming to Chicago. I know 2 of the 3 are. But yeah, I figured take a trip out there, went to the toy show, did some, filming for the channel, and then we went to the Emporium of Retro, which is our friend Eric's shop, which is another retro. They have video games and toys, and it's packed, like floor to ceiling, like even stuff on the floor, like that's how packed it is. It's crazy. And then just plugging away, and I'm actually shooting on a movie on Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to New York and then New Jersey for Monday and Tuesday. So I'm getting back to that. So
Nice.
it's been a busy week. How about you guys?
I was going to ask you, Dave, did you try to apply for maybe a media badge for the toy show, the Chicago Toy Show one?
So the thing about that, I don't personally know if they do media badges. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers there.
Right.
So I'm not really sure. That is a thought, though. It's maybe something that we can think about, and I can reach out and.
Because I was like, I don't know how many toy the events you're going to that you're covered to get in or that you're paying for, and I'm like, I mean, you've done enough videos that you could show like, hey, throw me on the media pass.
I mean, we won't get into it, but it's been a wild year, and to see where things are now from a year ago is kind of mind blowing. And so, like, I don't know. I just feel like even when I go to a toy show, like I don't mind paying the admission fee because it's supporting the show itself, and that's just been a thing. So, but you just reminded me though. On a side note, we are still doing the Tournament of Toys on Sundays.
Okay.
So I'm going to, when we do Rat or Bogus later in the episode, I'm going to see what you guys say on one of the like hot take matchups that we have. So
nice.
Should be fun.
Input.
Yeah, we're down to the, I think we're down to the Sweet 16, and we're about to go into the Elite 8. So the final 8 of the 64 that started. And it's starting to get to that point where it's like the heavy hitter toy lines. And there's actually a dark horse right now that I'll mention when we do the Rat or Bogus, but it's getting pretty spicy for sure.
Nice.
What have you guys been up to? I know Russ is going to PAX this weekend, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. While you guys are listening to this, PAX will be going on in Boston. We're recording Wednesday night, so I literally have to finish this, edit the podcast, and upload it and everything before I go to sleep because I'm leaving tomorrow at like 6 a.m. to drive to Rhode Island to then take the train from Rhode Island to Boston.
Wow.
And then I should get to PAX, I think, at like 11 o'clock. So a little later than I usually go, but that's fine. And I do have media passes for PAX. I got it last year, was the first time I had tried and gotten it. There was a little mix up this year, so it took a little email back and forth, but I'm on the pass list. And I'm going to go 2 days to the show. I would be able to go. It's 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I couldn't get the time off. I'm calling out on Friday. Hopefully no one from work is watching. So shout out to Bryce. I'm going to be rooming with Bryce. I found out he was going, and I messaged him. I was like, any chance I could crash with you Thursday night so I don't have to drive back home like with the train and do all that back and forth, because I was like, it wouldn't be worth it to go the 2 days. So him and his buddy Stefan, who I've never met, said, yeah, it's cool if you crash with us. So I'm going to bring my little SNES Classic so we could play some games in the hotel room. They sent me a picture of the snacks they're bringing, so it should be a fun little time in the hotel room. And I never got to go to PAX more than 1 day, so this will be interesting where I can Thursday opening day get the lay of the floor, and then maybe going back Friday like, oh yeah, I want to hit this booth, and I want to try to take some notes of what I want to get for content, because I like to get a few videos, not just like here's me walking around the show video. I like to do maybe like these are the retro game booths at PAX, and that's one video because there's only going to be a few booths, and then maybe do some short showcases of games coming up that maybe people could search, where it's like a 4-minute, 5-minute video. It's like, hey, we're at such and such booth, check out this game, show some gameplay, interview the developer. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so nice. It's going to be a busy few days, and then I'll come back, Friday night, and then I have work Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Get back into the flow of work.
Russ, I'm almost interested to know how the booths are on the Thursday and Friday, because when you typically go,
when we Saturdays.
Went, it's usually on a Saturday, right?
Right, the busiest day, yeah.
So I'm almost wondering, like, do vendors sell out some stuff, or like, do they have different stuff on the Thursday and Friday that maybe you've already missed? And so I wonder, just like making a video wise, it might be interesting to be like, this is what it's like when PAX first opens on Thursday versus how it is on a Friday or a Saturday. So.
Right. Yeah, it's certainly a good point, because by the time you get there, Saturday always sells out. Usually everyone goes, but it's like you could have missed those deals that were Thursday, Friday. They could have had some cool stuff that had already sold. And I don't know what they do for, restocking, if they want to keep some stuff in back. And then Saturday comes, okay, now put that stuff out to kind of, because they anticipate show sold out, we're going to move some product then, or they just don't care. Put out everything all out. If it goes all on Friday, whatever.
What I was going to ask you, are there any panels that you're going to be going to?
I haven't looked at the list of it. What's neat is being on the media list. They send your email out to all the developers. So I've been getting emails like, hey, please come by our booth or schedule a time. We want to show you this. Nice. So you kind of go through and get a preview. Oh yeah, I kind of like this game. I'll swing by this booth. And then they, my buddy Gandyman sent me a Excel spreadsheet of here's all the booths, here's all the swag, which you could get at the booths, and what you need to do to get that swag. Some of it's like play a 5-minute demo, you get a keychain or whatever, or it's fill out a survey. Some of them it's like you got to spin a wheel and then you'll win something. So certainly a lot to take in for that. The only thing I think Thursday, there's a cool band that's playing. They play like the Wii Shop music, kind of like that jazzy, like flute instruments and all this. So they look pretty cool. When I had gone last year, there was a BioShock Barber quartet Is that what you
Yep.
say? Yeah, barber
Barbershop
portrait.
quartet.
Right, and that was really cool. I like that. That was in one of the halls. So I'll have to check it out since we'll be there late. Maybe could hang out late, see some bands and stuff on Thursday night, and maybe even Friday.
I'm gonna miss those food trucks. Those are good food trucks.
Yeah, last year they didn't do the food trucks. It was all inside
wow.
up there. But chicken and fries, guys, is a staple. Going to PAX, they have fantastic food, chicken and fries, and maybe I'll get that.
Nice.
Chicken and rice, not fries. Chicken and rice.
Right. Russ, you remember the last time we went? We got those little Toxic Crusader
barrels.
slime barrels.
Yeah.
So apparently, I found this out this week because I am going to sell my Toxic Crusader figures, and I have the barrel sitting next to it, and I sent a picture to somebody, and I didn't even think to do this. They looked it up on eBay.
Yeah.
Bro, those things go for $50 a piece now.
Are you sure it's because I feel like it's just a generic toxic barrel.
It is it is promoted as the promo item from the video game.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's it then.
So there are these little plastic barrels that have green slime in them that just are printed on Toxic
Crusader. Yeah.
So like $50, like wild. I wish I had we should have. They had a whole table of them. They just grabbed them all.
They'll be back again. I saw Justin showing a picture. They're bringing a bunch of arcade cabinets, so they're supplying the arcades, and I'm sure they'll be back with the the demos of the games coming out. The Toxic Avenger beat 'em up game. They have the Castlevania game. What the heck is it called? The Transylvania Adventure of Simon's Quest. I think that's the title of it. What was another one? Dead Meat, I think, is a Contra game. And Retro City, I think, was another one that came out that you can try those out. So be curious to see those.
Well,
again,
if they have the barrels,
I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, for the barrel.
Keep an eye out for the barrel. Maybe they'll have purple ones this time or something.
Right. Hey, speaking of purple, shout out to Venom. I got my Venom shirt on here. Check that out. I got some new stickers. Sticker Mule was having their sale. You get like 50 stickers for $20, and so I got these printed up of my cosplay of Jason.
Sweet.
Nice.
Those are cool.
And it's very light, but it says Russ Lyman like right above my shoulder there. So if someone gets it, but like I was like, oh, I should do something with like my cosplay. And I thought that's very retro and people would dig it because it's NES Jason. And then maybe if they look close, Russ Lyman, maybe I'll look him up and see my cosplay of that. So I'll try to give some of those out.
Nice.
Cool. What about you, Keith? What have you been up to?
Well,
Keith almost didn't make it today.
I did. I got called to work. I had to pin it to win it. I feel like there's something we should talk about, and we might as well talk about it now, I guess.
Sure.
We lost something. We lost something.
We lost something. What did we lose?
Chuck Norris.
Oh yes, I knew. Is that where I was going? He's not gone. He's beat everybody on Earth, and now he's going up against God.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Grim Reaper didn't take Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris took the Grim Reaper, right?
Exactly.
It's a little sad, right? We had all he wasn't a huge like A-lister, but he was pretty.
He's Chuck Norris
for a lot of us.
Oh
right?
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So to see him pass is a little sad. It definitely was something.
That's for
when
sure.
I saw that, I was like, oh, we need to probably take a second and chat about him because it's kind of the era we were growing up in.
Manny from Manny's Arcade. We'll see him at SoCal. He posted something and was showing the Chuck Norris action figures, and I was like, I need to find one of those. I had like one of those growing up, so I was like, I'll be on the hunt to try to find one of those.
I see a lot of them at toy shows, and funny story, actually, my friend Mac put out his video this past weekend or actually just yesterday, so Tuesday, of him going around the Tucson Toy Show, and he bought a Chuck Norris figure. But the show was like 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So he had to, like, when he bought the figure, he actually had to do like a talking head segment saying, guys, like, I bought this and he literally passed away like the day the video was going up. So he actually had to create because what happens is he's like negotiating with the guy, and he got it for a lower price, and he didn't want to
have it come off taste like
exactly. So he had to put something in there saying, no, listen, this show was 3 months ago, and he just happened to be putting it out like the day after he had passed away.
Coincidence.
It was just a coincidence. It's crazy. And when I went to the Emporium of Retro this past weekend, he had a Chuck Norris figure carded on the wall that I pulled off. The guy who runs the store is a friend of mine, and I handed it to him. I was like, hey, you got a Chuck Norris figure here? And he said, oh, I didn't realize I had two of them. And I was like, okay. So he sold one, like, literally, I guess, the day before, and he was very hesitant to sell it because he didn't know if he had another one.
Gotcha.
But a guy came in and, like, immediately, I mean, you know how things are with, like, when people pass, like, the prices go way up, and then it takes a few months, and then it, like, trickles back down or whatever. But, like, rest in peace, Chuck Norris.
That's it.
Right.
I do want to go. I don't think I ever seen, what was the movie he's in with Bruce Lee? Is it Fist of the Dragon, where he fights Bruce Lee?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's some.
While you guys discuss, I will figure it out.
David, you're our movie guy.
Do you want to know something? I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I'm going to be real about this. Guys, fight me about it. I don't think I've ever seen a Chuck Norris movie.
It's been.
You didn't see Expendables?
For sure. You're right.
He was in that. Right? That would count.
Which one was he in? Because I think I've only seen the first one.
I think he was in the first one. He had to make the first roster, I'm pretty sure.
And I did not see that movie that he was in the 90s, right? Sidekicks?
Yeah.
With, you never watched... my dad watched the Texas Walker Ranger
Texas
series.
Ranger?
Yeah.
No. I don't think I've ever seen a Chuck Norris movie. I just know of the lore and
the memes and
who he is.
That's it. Well, we could add it to a future Warp Pipe rental, I guess, right?
There we go. As a person,
the Way of the Dragon.
The Way of the Dragon.
But yeah, I'm sure it was a huge thing for him to have all that, all the jokes and stuff like that. Like, oh, Chuck Norris didn't do this. He did this to that, right? Like, I'm sure he was in his glory. So it's cool that a person like that could have all that. And right to the end, right? Like, that's
right.
Like you said, it's his it's his legacy, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm sure many of the things of his legacy, because he's got quite a few kids and stuff. But
and I think he was 86. Was he 86? I think
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Salute Chuck Norris.
That's it. I should be a-cha!
Right?
Yeah, anything else going on, Keith, or end it with that?
No, let's end her with that.
Perfect. All right, we'll take a quick break from her to tell you about our sponsor, and then we'll get into it here.
We'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Manny's Arcade. More on them later in the episode.
All right. This week, we are going back in time a little bit. We haven't known these in a little while. So let's do a rad or bogus. We're going to put two things up against each other. One of them is going to vanish from existence. And the other one is going to stay. It's rad. The other one is bogus. Go ahead, Russ.
Bogus. I guess we're doing rad or bogus first.
I was like, screw it. We'll flip-flop them.
Are we not?
Warp Pipe rental.
Oh, guys,
that's all right.
That one in.
Rad and bogus, we're in it.
We're in it. We're in it.
Yay! I got this timeline up, and we're there. All right, rad or bogus, guys.
All right, Keith, you go first.
I still got to get one. I'm thinking.
Oh, I have
Go
it all
ahead.
messed up now. Fudgesicles or creamsicles?
Ooh,
Oh,
we're going food.
that's why I was
Okay.
so excited. That's why I derailed our whole timeline. It was because of fudgesicles or creamsicles.
You were so excited about it.
I was so excited. It was like right there on my screen.
That is a tough. You know, funny you should mention that, guys.
Do you have one right there?
Ready for this? This is what I'm drinking right now.
Oh, hey, okay. Close enough. Orange creamsicle.
Mm.
Pretty good. And it's funny because usually I'm drinking the cola, and tonight I was like, you know what? Let me go with the creamsicle tonight.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed.
It's like someone's
What do you
ears were
think?
ringing.
What do we think, guys? I was so excited.
That's a real tough one.
I'm leaning towards the fudgesicle. I'd say I think I like the fudgesicle a little bit more.
I think if I was going like had to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh man, those
One's gonna go away.
That's what I'm thinking though. I was like, if we get rid of fudgesicle, there's plenty of other chocolate type pops that you can get, right? I could probably get a like a cookie dipped one. I don't know, chocolate chip, something like that. But like orange creamsicle is such a specific flavor to go in with. So that could sway my decision on that.
I mean, this could sway my decision right here.
Just drinking it.
Right?
Because this would not exist, right?
Then you wouldn't get any.
Can you imagine it being fudgesicle?
No.
Give me a fudgesicle drink.
A carbonated fudgesicle? Ugh.
Right?
That's rough. Oh man. They do have like I think there is a chocolate soda though. What are you thinking, Keith? Do you know?
I'm young me would have been fudgesicle all the way, 100%, because that was one of my favorite things when we would get Mama brings like that kind of stuff home. There was fudgesicles. I was in my glory. But this age me, probably the creamsicle. So I think I'd go with creamsicle. Would be rad. Like Russ said, if I find something to substitute the fudgesicle, but I'm not going to find something to substitute creamsicle.
Oh, he's making it tougher now by bringing them up.
What is this no sugar added one? I don't want that one.
Get out of here.
Give me I want the actual sugar. Extra sugar.
More sugar. Adding more sugar.
These are all no sugar. Whatever.
What on earth? This might be a prime reason to just... Oh, the original. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Just say, if they only make them sugar-free now, I am totally getting into that.
Oh, this is
a whole generation.
Oh, man. This might be the toughest one you've come up with, Keith.
I try. That's why I was so excited to get to it.
This one is rough. Oh, man. I might have to go fudgesicle.
Is rad?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where I have brought up. I'm like, what could compare to another fudgesicle, like another chocolate pop? That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, just
it's gonna taste like that, right? Like,
right.
I probably get something that's maybe vanilla coated in chocolate that might fill that gap.
Right.
See, here's the thing. Like, even if I did away with this, they would still have cream sodas because they might be based on like root beer floats or something like that. So, yeah, I don't think there's another alternative to a fudgesicle. Like, you could get an orange pop, right?
Yeah.
But you can't get a fudgesicle. Like, you can get one of those like chocolate
eclairs maybe, or like
or a chocolate popsicle with like the chocolate coating on the outside.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
But you can't get a consistency of a fudgesicle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost weighing in with I feel like I could eat like 4 or 5 fudgesicles in a row, and I can't do that with the creamsicle. Maybe 6.
That's in one sitting?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I'm watching freaking Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris down in fudgesicles. Sounds like a good Wednesday morning to me.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going fudgesicle.
All right.
So 2 fudgesicles?
2 fudgesicles.
Yeah, look, I'm already
So
yeah, I'm
good, I
already-
got Dave off
already out.
camera.
I'm already tapped
Yeah,
out.
David's gonna. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this.
What about you,
Come on.
Keith?
Right.
Bring me
Oh,
back.
I'm creamsicle.
Creamsicle.
I'm
Okay,
going creamsicle. Yeah.
perfect.
All right, Russ, you go next.
Okay, so we're talking mall in the 90s, and I definitely remember comic shops, collecting comic books and all that, and I got my Venom shirt on, so let's do Venom or Carnage. Which one is your preferred Spider-Man villain or comic book or card collection of it? Venom or Carnage?
I mean, I would go Venom. I would go Venom because I had I remember when the Venom miniseries came out with the holographic red cover.
Okay.
And yeah, and so like I remember, and I used to draw Venom a lot when I was younger. And I
Yeah.
think Carnage came out. I don't know anything about comics, so don't quote me on this. Tom Ryan, don't come at me about this. But
Yeah,
like,
Tom.
I think was Carnage a little later.
He had to be, yeah. I don't think they came at the same time. They saw the popularity of Venom and were like, we need more of these.
So we're gonna make like 9 other symbiotes.
Yeah.
Right. I would go Venom.
I would also go Venom because I
Yeah.
feel like he's like, yeah, the one that kind of started
But
it. So
but
possibly.
But
that means no more Maximum Carnage.
such a good game. No more red cartridge.
But would they make a Venom version?
Possible.
Maximum
Possibly
Venom
not.
doesn't sound as good though. It would have to be named something
right.
else.
Extreme
Right, so that-
Venom.
So that's a tough one because you're getting rid of you're getting rid of that one too.
Shoot. Yeah.
Russ didn't think this through.
Because I'm like definitely Venom. Like I enjoy like the look of him, the
Right.
color schemes of stuff. Like I have a few cards and comics of him. And Carnage is pretty cool, but never stuck with me to like collect comics or cards of that character. But did enjoy that video game Maximum Carnage with green jello or green jelly.
Right.
Carnage rules.
Did Venom even have a game?
Not his own game. No, I think he was in what was the other Spider-Man game? Spider-Man. I think it was another beat 'em up.
Was it a Super Nintendo version?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that tracks.
Spider.
But yeah, Maximum Carnage. Didn't even think about that until just now. And that's that classic red cartridge that you find.
I guess he's in that game. Oh, here we go. Separation Anxiety is another one, but that also has Carnage and all the others symbiotes.
Okay. Yeah,
symbiotes. What's the plural?
I guess I just have more nostalgia for Venom, and I could do without the game. There's plenty of other beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
The direction I would go to, I'd go Venom just for the nostalgia of Venom.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Russ, what about you?
What about Russ? We didn't get Russ.
Nah, yeah, Venom.
You're gonna go Venom. Okay.
Woo!
Venom across the board.
All right, so guys, we've been doing the tournament of toys, and there have been some extremely, extremely hot takes. And I did mention that there's been a dark horse. Guys, the dark horse in the competition that is now in the the Sweet 16, the final 16. Darkwing Duck is still in it.
Nice. Let's get
Very
dangerous.
shocking. Very, very shocking. Very shocking. But I'm not putting Darkwing Duck up against anyone. We're getting down to the nitty gritty of the crazy matchups. And there's one specific matchup this week that I want to get your thoughts on because this is going to be like a 50-50 split. I don't know who's going to win, what the voting's going to tell.
Yeah.
And on Rad or Bogus, one goes away forever. And then one stays. So, the matchup this week is Masters of the Universe. We're talking toys.
Toys.
Masters of the Universe versus Transformers.
That's pretty, 80s right there. I thought you were going to maybe say Turtles,
No, Turtles is
but
going
I guess
up
that's
against-
80s and 90s. A mix there. So 80s versus 80s.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the chart and see who's. But yeah, you guys discuss that one.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few of both of them, and I had them growing up. I probably didn't have a lot of Transformers growing up. A few.
Yeah,
I don't know if they were more expensive. I imagine so.
yeah.
I'm sure the Masters of the Universe figures were, a few dollars, so I had definitely more of those.
Yeah.
That was tough. You get a Transformer, it's a vehicle or a bug or something, and also a robot. Where Masters of the Universe, just one thing, right?
You've also got the movie.
Yeah, that's true. I probably preferred the Transformers movie over Dolph Lundgren's He-Man movie.
Well, I'm even talking about the cartoon
Oh, cartoon. Yep, that's true. That's true.
where they killed Optimus Prime. Spoiler alert. It's been 40 years, guys. Watch
Traumatizing
it.
for kids, right?
Wow.
Do you know why they did that?
They didn't want to pay the voice actor. I don't know.
Boost sales
I don't know if-
on new toys.
That's what it was. I think we might have mentioned that in the past.
Kill off the old toys. Go get the new.
That's what it was.
People are they're not buying, right? So let's get rid of these ones and focus on new ones. Which is why they eliminated so many of them.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to be a massacre.
Like the most heartbreaking part of that whole movie is when Ironhide gets on the ship and Megatron's like with his gun down. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It's a rough one, man.
I'm gonna go Masters of the Universe, so I don't gotta watch that. You know that? Yeah.
It's erased.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, to see that.
You also got the cartoons. So you got the cartoons of Transformers, you got the cartoons of Masters of the Universe. You've also got the new video game coming out for Masters of the Universe. Like when you bring it, like toy lines is one thing, but you bring it to Rad or Bogus, it's on a whole new level.
Yeah.
It's a toughie, man.
Transformers certainly has, I feel like, more presence, right? There was tons of movies. You had the Michael Bay movies, the Bumblebee movies. They did more animated movies. There's a ton of new animated movies as well. And they're still making new Transformers to this day. Whereas
they're still making He-Man.
Yeah, but I feel like they're the retros or like re-releases of current like they don't have, I guess, an opportunity to introduce new figures like Transformers would, right?
Do Transformers do that though?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean they have tons of toys in there.
Just kind of re-release.
I mean, I do have the Masters of the Universe Stranger Things mashups.
Oh, you're right. Those came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have those.
And Kevin Smith did do the cartoon series with Masters of the Universe that had 2 seasons, I think.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of Masters of the Universe, yeah.
It's unanswerable. You can't choose.
Well, if you can't answer, I'm going to answer something, and I'm going to put this out there. Since this is Rad or Bogus, here's the deal, guys. If you get rid of Transformers, you still got GoBots.
You still got your fix. GoBots can dominate.
If you get rid of Master Universe, you still have Thundercats.
Yeah, but they're not as
You
cool.
still have Conan the Barbarian.
They didn't do anything with Thundercats. I've said it before,
David, like, it is okay to be wrong, but, you know.
Lion-O was a little whiny.
But maybe it would have, maybe Thundercats would have been the new norm. But again, maybe GoBots would have been the new norm, and I feel like
That's
I
true.
still don't know why they never made a Thundercats movie.
Animated or live action, yeah.
Right. They made a cartoon, they had the cartoon, but that's about it.
As far as they went.
Mm-hmm.
What about a video game? They didn't make a video game either.
Nope.
We talked about that last week, so I would say for me personally, I'm going Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
All day over Transformers. I did have an Optimus Prime G1 growing up as a kid. My brother still has his Soundwave, but Masters of the Universe, like, what's that? What'd you say?
So many cool Transformers.
There is. And between Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, the Fright Zone, you guys know I'm a Hordak guy.
You lose
The sludge
She-Ra,
pit,
right?
the slime pit, or whatever it's called, sludge pit.
You lose a whole other series if you get rid of Masters of the
Oh
Universe.
yeah,
Look,
she right.
got my slime pit right here.
There it is, the slime pit.
I've even got like the comic that came with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Masters of the Universe. Sorry, guys. And the Masters of the Universe comic books, I feel were better than the Transformer comic books.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't read
So I'm
either.
going there too.
All right. I'm going to go Masters of the Universe, and it's going to be for one embarrassing reason. You guys ready for this?
Okay.
I'm going to open my soul to everyone on the podcast right now.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, we used to have, remember the book and tapes?
Yes.
Yeah.
The cassette tape. We used to listen to, they'd done the He-Man She-Ra when he first meets She-Ra. They'd done that cartoon or movie, however they put that out. They'd done that.
It was a She-Ra series. Yep.
Yeah. So we used to listen to that before going to bed. Me and my sister, when we were little, we had that tape, we put it in, and we listened to it. Right. To this day, if I have a night where I can't shut my brain off, I'm tossing and turning. I actually have that saved on YouTube. And I'll just put that on, and I'll make like 5 minutes into it. It just shuts me off completely because I think subconsciously that takes me back to that.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have Masters of the Universe, I wouldn't have that now, and I wouldn't have that moment when I can't shut myself off at night. I put that on, literally plays for 5. It plays the whole way through, but I don't hear any of it. I'm just out,
So if
right?
it wasn't for Masters of the Universe, Keith would not sleep.
Some nights, yes, I would not. I have to find something else, right, that would fill that void, and I don't know what there would be, which is very weird. But
and without Masters of the Universe, I wouldn't have the story of when my mom gave away my Castle Grayskull right in front of me.
Take it away.
And if my mom is listening, I know she doesn't remember it, but I remember it.
This is a Puzo. Oh my.
Yeah. So there's that. So you're going Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. I'm going to keep Masters of the Universe. Yeah. Unanswerable.
It's very close. I'll go Transformers since you both did Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay. So at least one universe will have Transformers still.
Yeah. The freaking Insecticons, the Dinobots, Devastator,
Soundwave Blaster.
So many good ones for sure. And enjoying the movies. The cartoon was fantastic. Yeah. The merchandise, lunchboxes, bed sheets.
So we're getting rid of Transformers, but Transformers are technically just another whole toy line from like Japan at the start that they just kind of brought over here and did that with, right? So
aren't Transformers a knockoff GoBots?
Because GoBots came first, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And somehow Transformers won the war.
Right.
Well, it's because they had Optimus Prime.
So what I'm saying is, if anything exists overseas or whatever, GoBots were still first.
Yeah.
But real quick before we move on, to circle back, I was talking about Darkwing Duck. So in the first round, Darkwing Duck, I want to get your thoughts on this real quick because I'm dying to know. Darkwing Duck beat out Shogun Warriors. In the second round, Darkwing Duck defeated Small Soldiers. And then in the third round, Darkwing Duck defeated Hot Wheels.
That's an interesting.
Yes.
And this is just toy line. Like, I feel like there wasn't a bunch of Darkwing Duck toys.
There was not.
So just a lot of people really enjoyed that property.
Cool.
It's just there's one dark horse, and that's who it is. Don't even get me started on Small Soldiers defeating Battle Beasts in the first round. Yeah, Keith, that happened.
Sacrilegious.
That happened.
I am
Good
mortified.
Lord.
I'm mortified.
Yeah.
Small
Check those
soldiers,
ballots
really?
again.
Was Curtis voting? Like,
So
what?
not only did,
What's going
but
on
it
there?
was close. Small Soldiers beat them 54% to 46%. So it was close. But anyway, if you guys are interested in the Tournament of Toys Sunday on my channel, David's Me, we go live at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's getting wild.
It's getting wild.
Sounds like it.
Moving on.
All right, guys. Sounds like I'm running the show this week. So now we're going backwards, and we're gonna check out our weekly warp pipe. Each week we rent a movie or a game. We check it out. We talk about it. We rate it, and we encourage you to join us. Check out our weekly warp pipe rental stuff. Go ahead.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
All right, guys, we ended up choosing a pretty awesome platformer to get you prepped and ready for Easter. We got Bucky O'Hare on the Nintendo. Love the cover on this. It just jumps out with Bucky front and center. You can see a few of his other friends in there, and looks like they're in a battlefield. The logo's really cool. I like the Bucky O'Hare logo. Almost could be like a cool patch that we would wear on like a flight jacket or something like that. So I think it really stands out. And again, they're trying to capitalize on all those what we say, like animal superheroes or animal antagonists of like Ninja Turtles, Biker Mice from Mars, Cowboys of Moo Mesa. They're like, we need animals doing stuff. So Bucky O'Hare, and he was a toy line as well, cartoon. Of course, got the video game here. So this one's a tough one though, for sure, where it starts off and you have to basically rescue each one of your companions.
Yeah,
And then once you do, then you can switch between them at will for the next stages, essentially.
Yeah.
Keith, is that the box? Wow, he's got a heavy hitter.
I do.
That is a
is-
heavy hitter game.
This is what started all of my collecting, really, was this guy here. I got this guy at a thrift store.
Wait, you
For like
you got it at a
$60,
$60. Nice.
right? And
Wow.
it's complete.
Wow. I don't think I ever seen the manual.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I got very, very lucky. I saw it. I didn't know anything about games at the time. This was before my collecting started,
Yeah.
and they had it for $60. I was like, I think that's worth more than that. I
Yeah.
asked the lady, and she said, "Yeah, $60." I asked her 3 times. Said, "No, they marked their own prices, and it's $60." I said, "Okay, I'll buy that." And then I ran across the parking lot and looked it up on price charting. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Wow.
It is one of my very special ones that I have in my collection. But I was looking at the. Can you bring the box art back up, Russ?
Oh, yeah. Let me just shoot over to here and boom.
I think it's interesting that when we look at this, like Bucky doesn't have it, but Deadeye Duck in the background, you can see him sitting there, or maybe that's even Willie. It might be Willie's foot, but it's got the hole in the bottom of it, and it looks like Blinky's got the hole in the bottom of his foot,
Yes.
too, which is right from the toys, right? So you could situate. that
Oh,
kind of stuff,
interesting. Yeah.
right? Unless I'm
catch.
totally mistaken, that's what that would be from, right? So that's cool that they put that in there right from the toy line.
Pretty neat.
A
Yeah, good little
complete
find.
a complete version of this with the box manual and the game,
Yep.
$541.49.
There you go. Keith's got it sitting right there.
I got
The
real
manual
lucky that day.
alone, $140.
Got very, very lucky that day. That's the only time that's ever happened to me.
And it's not a common one to find, like especially the manual,
No.
like Russ was
Yeah.
saying.
Like,
Dang.
super cool game as a whole. Like, this came out in 92, right?
Mhm.
Kind of has that Mega Man feel to it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, people kind of
Like it.
consider it a Mega Man clone.
Yeah.
I mean, this level alone with the moving blocks and everything like that.
Right. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that the game, if you didn't know it was a Konami game,
Yeah.
you would know immediately from the music.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very Konami music.
Absolutely. It's definitely got that feel, right?
It's kind of got that like Contra vibe.
Yeah. It
And
is
that's cool.
a
You could,
difficult game too, right?
yeah, and you could switch through characters as you rescue them.
Yeah.
And each character has different attributes that you can use, kind of like Mega Man. You know what I mean? So
A little
like,
bit,
you
yeah.
got- I mean, that's Dr. Wily right there, right? Where he comes down in like the robot like that.
And
So,
it is-
I mean, look at this. I mean, that looks like Snake Man stage. And the little snake's coming out.
You don't, other than really like a couple cases, you don't really need all. You can play through most of it with Bucky
Like,
himself, right?
Right. One character. So, yeah.
You don't have to change, but there's certain instances, right? Like you can't beat the blue planet without beating the green planet. I think it is
Right.
because you
right.
need the ability to do that, right? You need that character to do
Right.
what you're looking for. But it's cool that it's not like forcing you to do stuff like that, right?
Right. Once you get past the first 4 stages or whatever, it's like, all right, choose who you want. One will make it easier, or just play it all through as Bucky, and maybe it's more difficult, but it could be done.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what it's set up as, right? Is it's like you could play it with Bucky, but it's a little bit easier if you can swap to Jenny in this case, right? Which is
Sure.
that's nice to have, right?
Mm-hmm. And then
And then you
also,
have to fight them anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's also a very good rental because there's a password system.
Yeah.
Pick up where you left off.
Right.
So, how far did you guys get in this?
I think I rescued all the friends, and then I got to the next stage after that and dove in a little bit, but
Mhm.
didn't get too much further.
I got just about through all the planets in my little adventure because it's NES hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I even watched some gameplay on YouTube, like Russ is sharing with us now, and doesn't seem that hard the way when you watch like
Right?
people
Yeah, with
playing
someone knowing what they're doing. Yeah, like
right.
make it look easy.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is it's memory. You got to remember all these little things,
right.
or it's just get your butt kicked by it until you figure it out. Like
It's
you
hand-eye
might end up-
coordination. It's your classic platformer, but like there's levels to the platforming. Like, isn't there like one of the first stages they like drop you, right? And then you have to kind of like move in between all of the falling rocks or something so you don't hit those. So yeah, I mean look at this. You're basically playing Frogger right here.
right?
I do like also they have throughout different levels you can get certain coins that increases your life, so you can choose like, oh, I got to switch my character because I want this character to get more life because maybe you start with Blinky and he has a very small health bar, so you want to try to get his health bar up. So there's a little strategy to that.
Sure. Almost like Ninja Turtles.
There's lots of sprites happening and it does no slowdown. Like that. They did a pretty good job with that.
That's a good point. And there's these cutscenes too, right? Like they have a storyline. Like when you first start the game, it starts you off with a whole story and gives you a premise of what's going on.
Yeah.
The graphics are great. Like those are, the cutscene graphics are great.
Well, yeah, like
especially
Super
for an
Nintendo
NES
had been out already when this one came out. So like this was later life, and they're like the moon is circling on that scene, right? Like when you're on your planet select, the moon is circling.
Oh yeah, down at the yellow one, yeah.
Right.
I almost wonder why they didn't release this on SNES.
That's a good question.
I feel like that could have worked.
it had one season of the cartoon. It had one wave of the toys.
Right.
So it didn't get, I mean, it's super cool, but it didn't get a lot behind
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So that could be why.
It's a pretty cool IP, and we're going to talk more about it later in the show. But
Sure are.
yeah,
Actually, the next segment. So
Right away, because I was like, I want to cram these together and make it a whole Bucky O'Hare adventure for us.
and we will be doing that. So what are you guys going to rate it then?
I almost want to give it a 5. I feel like it meets a bunch of the criteria, like you said, password system, great graphics, great music. You just really have to sit down with it and get good at it. And if you persist, you'll eventually beat the game.
And that's the only reason I would give it a 4.7. Because I beat my head against the wall, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I know I'll figure it out eventually, but some of that stuff, I'm beating my head against the wall. So that's the only reason I would bring it down. I'm going to give it a 4.7.
Yeah. And that's why I would probably give it like a 4.5, and that's because of the difficulty. It's not like, even if it was a little less difficult, or maybe there could have been an option for easy, medium, hard.
Yep.
And giving you like that option.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go like a 4. I'll go 4,
Yeah.
a solid 4.2 and a half.
It's a great game for sure.
So 4.25 for me.
Yeah. I actually encourage everyone to go and watch my buddy James, Big Ol' Words, watch his review on it. He does a really good job. Really talks it all the way through. James's stuff is always amazing. Check out Big Ol' Words on YouTube and see what he's got. He does a really good run through of this one.
Yeah, so go rent it. Go rent this game.
Go and play it however you can.
Yes.
As Sestron would say.
Oh, it's back on me. How about that? Guys, next week we are going to get into another game. We're going to do Goof Troop on the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, I feel we missed an opportunity to have a Bucky O'Hare on there, especially with the timing of it.
There was an arcade game, though.
Yeah.
Was there?
Mm-hmm. There was a Bucky O'Hare arcade game. Yeah.
Like a run and gun one. Or is it? Yeah.
I think it's a beat 'em up, yeah.
Interesting. So anyway, we're going to play Goof Troop next week. So get on that and go to your local rental store if they still exist. Or, I don't know, figure it out. There it is. This is a fun one. Look at those explosions. Hey, are those Bucky O'Hares that he's talking to?
From the planet of O'Hare. I don't know.
Oh, this is the arcade game.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been a Super Nintendo version of.
This one only came out a couple months after the Nintendo game, I believe.
This totally could have been on Super Nintendo.
It should have been on Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Sega Genesis with the graphics
Now
of
I'm
Streets
I'm
of
sad
Rage.
it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, this needed to be. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the graphics of like the Simpsons arcade game.
Yeah.
Colors and everything. But anyway, guys, Goof Troop on
Goof Troop
Super
next
Nintendo.
week.
Play it.
Play it.
Dude,
Let us know.
play it. Please.
Sweet. All right, rocking and rolling. All right, we finished that one. We're going to be getting into. Let's see, who's introducing this? David's introducing. It says it on the day.
All right, I guess I'm introducing this, guys. So should we just run the promo and we'll get into it?
Yeah, we want to do that first.
All right, just run it. Just run it.
I have to find it.
Oh no. Okay, so anyway, guys,
Wait,
so we
I got it.
Oh, Russ, go. Go ahead.
Man, toys from back in the day were just awesome. We had the best time going to the store and picking one out and coming home and playing with it. Join us while we go back and give you a brief history, personal connection, pop culture impact, and value when we dive into the Vintage Toy Box.
Action figures each sold separately from Mattel.
We haven't done one of these in quite some time. So
Quite some time, yeah.
to finally get back into it. I don't even remember what the last one that we did, but we're bringing it back, guys. I think we're going to be doing these. I believe we talked about doing once a quarter, so we'll have 4 of them this year. And
Yeah.
why don't I have Keith kind of introduce what toy are we talking about? I'm sure the listeners might know by now.
Well, I feel like we're just gonna keep
all
up
Bucky
with
O'Hare.
the theme here. This is all Bucky O'Hare.
I mean, Easter's around the corner.
Yeah.
We might as well have rabbits, right?
Absolute green space rabbits.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got to pull up my notes.
Right.
Well, I guess on our note here, I'll get my intro here. So, welcome to Vintage Toy Box, everyone. Like we said, it's been a while since we've done this. This is where we dive into the best and the most nostalgic toys of the 80s and 90s, and we're going to be talking about, of course, Bucky O'Hare. We'll get to some bullet points with Keith, but fantastic one for sure, and we'll see how it goes.
Did you have you want to run one of the commercials right now, Russ? And
Yeah.
check it out. We might as
Let's
well.
check it out. I got 2 of them, so here's a commercial for you.
Tired of smooth skin? Try Warts Up, the amazing new Wart Cream. We interrupt Toad TV for an update on Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars. The Toad Air Marshal has ordered his Storm Toads to crush the Freedom Fighters. Captain Bucky O'Hare.
Battle stations!
Gunner Deadeye Duck.
Let's group toads!
And Boy Genius Willie DeWitt.
Ever see a toad fly?
Yeah, those filthy mammals!
Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars.
New Bucky O'Hare action figures sold separately.
And now back to Toad TV.
Hey, way to go!
That's pretty awesome. So I feel like when we look back at the late 80s and the early 90s, there was all these wild over-the-top characters, the mutants, space heroes, and anything that that it comes straight out of a comic book. And Bucky O'Hare is absolutely one of those. Take a green space rabbit, throw him into an intergalactic battle against an evil Toad Empire, and boom, right there, you've got something that is kind of unforgettable for a lot of us. So Bucky O'Hare actually started as a comic book in the early mid 80s, actually doing some more research after I kind of wrote this stuff down. Sounds like the original designers made the comic book and then finally it kind of got published. It was like late 70s, early 80s it got published. And then it really kind of hit its stride when the animated series launched in 1991. And like a lot of other cartoons at the time, this was perfectly timed to support that toy line, which is exactly what we're talking about. And this is going to come from Hasbro. The show follows Bucky and his crew on board the Righteous Indignation as they battle the evil Toad Empire, led by Complex and the Toad Air Marshal. The crew itself was packed with memorable characters like Deadeye Duck, Blinky, Willie, Jenny, Commander Dogstar, and Bruiser. And each one of them had their own unique look and a personality that translated pretty perfectly into toys. The toy line itself was pretty awesome. These weren't just simple figures. Hasbro really leaned into that sci-fi aspect. You had highly detailed action figures with bright colors and unique alien designs. And like we typically saw back then, each character came with weapons and gear that matched their personalities. The toy line was relatively short-lived, which is why today it's become a bit of a cult favorite. David, maybe you could talk about that a little bit later here.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't a ton of waves released. There was only the one wave released. And some of the vehicles and figures are actually pretty tough to find now. So, yeah, David, what do you think?
Yeah, I know that the boxes especially they stood out on shelves, right? Because they had those bright colors. I actually kind of prefer their boxes, like the card backs, more than say like the Ninja Turtles, just because of the bright vividness of all the colors and the saturation. Bowl colors featured the characters, action-packed poses. You see Bucky or the Toads mid-battle, lasers flying, and it was like, hey, come and buy me off the shelf right now, please. Some of the packaging also gave a great look to the figures and the vehicles that were inside, and you couldn't walk away from these guys. As I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know that they had re-released them?
Yeah.
This looks like a re-release one here.
Yeah. So you could buy the re-released ones for fairly inexpensive. I want to say anywhere between like 20-25 bucks. And they're just as good as the originals, like in my opinion. I actually don't even own any Bucky O'Hare in this entire toy room.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's a travesty.
It's
Right?
travesty.
Well, you're going to
They're
Chicago.
very
You have to
cool.
fix that problem.
I see them all the time. I just, it was a little past my time, I think.
Go with that.
Okay.
You get the army builders, like, come on now.
I don't know.
Just didn't hit with Dave.
It just didn't
Nope.
hit. I mean, they're cool toys, and I would love to maybe like get a Bucky O'Hare, but like I don't know. I just don't have. I didn't never watch the cartoons. I never got the toys. Like I said, I think it was just a little past my time. But
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll do a little roundtable discussion here of. So, did any of us have Bucky O'Hare toys growing up? I want to say I don't think I did. I don't think I had any of them growing up. I distinctly remember other toy lines, but I don't think I got these at the store. Got them later in life, getting back into toy collecting.
I was gonna say you have a couple, don't you?
Yeah, I have Bucky, Blinky, and the blue frog-looking guy. I forgot his name.
Can I ask you, Russ? Like, what made you go out and buy them?
The game, the NES game, right? Having it as a companion to that.
I had the Air Marshal as a toy growing up. I also had Blinky and Commander Dogstar were the three that, between me and my sister, those are the three Bucky O'Hares that we had. I'm guessing they probably came out of a bargain bin. It was probably a birthday type gift.
Yeah.
Those are the three that I had, and I always thought that they were super cool looking because they are super cool looking.
Yeah.
Toys, right. So Air Marshal,
sure.
you could like spin his head all the way around. I think it was kind of something that I feel like that's something I need to buy again. That's something I'd like to have in my collection eventually when I get to that point.
Do you have any now?
No, not a one.
Oh,
A little sad.
okay.
Yeah.
We got to get you some of those. Maybe when we
That'll be another one to look at for SoCal.
maybe we'll go to SoCal and find them. Maybe we'll go to Siege.
Are we going to go to Oh, interesting.
Oh,
We'll see.
Spoiler
We'll see.
alert. Spoiler alert.
we will see.
So was there a toy line that you always wanted, essentially, or you just the parents never bought it, or what do you think? The reason why maybe you never got any growing up?
I was saying, I think it was just the Bucky O'Hare line itself was maybe a little past my time because
Past
you
your
said
time,
that the game came out in 92. Is that what you said?
92, yes. 92, yes.
92. So I would have been 12 years old when that game came out, and I was probably still on Ninja Turtles. And 12 years old, I think I'm in 7th grade at the time. So not really
91,
playing.
the series came out.
The series came out. Oh, the toys came out in 91?
The animated series came out in 91, so it would have been right, probably back to back, right? They probably prepared these to go right away. So yeah, they came out in 91. I'm sure they came out in 91.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just past my time, or maybe I wasn't watching cartoons. Do we know what came first, the cartoons or the toy?
It looks like
probably.
These are 1990. I don't know if that's the actual year, but all the carded figures are listed as 1990.
Oh,
so I'm
they're
like
90.
Because there was a comic book, right? So the comic book might have pushed the toys, which pushed the, and it could just be a timing thing too, right?
And then the game came out a little later.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was.
It's
my
probably
time,
just Turtles, right? Like
it just flew under the radar because we had Turtles, and Turtles was just like
the dominating,
so strong.
And that's what they were doing. They were just throwing stuff at those anamorphic, cool characters, trying to get another Turtles to happen, and stuff like Bucky O'Hare just didn't land because Turtles was still so dominant, like Russ said.
Yeah,
I always wanted the Toad. What's it called? The Storm Toad Troopers. I always wanted those. I thought those were super cool looking characters as a kid. I always wanted to build a whole army of them.
Was it this guy here? Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
that
is.
guy
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Wow, that guy
I
is pretty
guess
cool, actually.
that might be the re-release. I think
That's the
but,
re-release. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now,
always wanted those as a kid.
Would you guys like kind of agree that this was Hasbro's answer to the Turtles?
I would
Yeah.
say so.
One of
Yeah. I
them.
mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of many.
And they were very well made figures. Like, I think they're
Yeah.
a little rubbery, but like they still hold up. Like all the figures, they're figures from like the 80s and the super early 90s, like they were just made different, right? Like they were just made
Yeah.
well, sturdy. You could throw them up against a wall and like they wouldn't break. So
Toss him down the
I-
stairs, right?
Right. Sure. So I feel like I don't know. I don't know why I was never into them growing up, but they're cool toys.
yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get some of the characters here. So Bucky O'Hare, right? Deadeye Duck. We had Willie, Commander Dogstar, Blinky, Bruiser, Toad Air Marshal, the Army Builder figures of the Storm Toad Troopers, Toad Borg, that's the one I have,
Yeah.
and Al Negator, which is a alligator play on that. Each figure had its own unique sculpt and accessories, which made them all feel different and worth collecting. What really made the line stand out was the mix of heroes and villains in the vehicles. While the line did include ships, right, because you're in space, Hasbro never released a Righteous Indignation toy, the main ship from our heroes. So, any toy line, Castle Grayskull, yep, synonymous with that. Turtle Van, you get the party wagon and all that. With this, they're like, well, where's the ship? I freaking see it in the comics and the cartoon. Guess they didn't have time to sculpt it, or maybe sales were down. Who knows?
Maybe that was for Wave 2.
This is something fans still talk about because it feels such obvious vehicle that should have been made. Instead, the line is remembered more for its action figures, enemy vehicles, and supporting merchandise rather than for giving kids the main ship from the cartoon. We did get 2 Toad Empire vehicles, though. The Toad Croaker and the Toad Double Bubble. The Toad Double Bubble even came with an interesting feature where if you moved it back and forth, it would make a croaking sound. Yeah. And even the commercials were awesome, which we had seen one already. I don't know if we want to play another one. I got 2 lined up.
Let's see
So
it.
I think this one has a vehicle in it, which you can check out now.
Oh, sweet.
Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! He goes where no ordinary rabbit would dare. Look out! It's the Toad Double Bubble. Listen. I love that sound. Oh no, it's after Willie. The Double Bubble's got gruesome quiver claws. Hang on, Willie. It's Bucky to the rescue in the Toad Croaker. Let's croak Toad. I hate that sound. Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! Bucky! That's Bucky! Bucky O'Hare! Croak us some Toad. Toad Croaker, Double Bubble, and figures sold separately.
Man, what a cool vehicle. And like,
Right?
That's awesome.
it's just like bordering on like the gross out with all the fart sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got little sound effects, and you could smash, the toads with the other one there.
I don't know
As far as
why
I
I
know,
never really saw
No
these
batteries
commercials.
for that sound. It was just like an internal thing that
Really?
rotate. Yeah, no batteries.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool that it made this cool sound, and because you turned it back and forth with that one.
Interesting.
Kind of interesting, right? So Bucky O'Hare toy line, it didn't have as many releases as some of the bigger toy lines of its time, but what we did get was pretty memorable stuff like we just saw. They're just the intro music to that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right? Captain Bucky O'Hare.
Captain Bucky. Yeah.
Right? The figures themselves were really well done. With those bright colors and those exaggerated features made them stand out on the shelves, like David talked about earlier. The villains, especially the Toads, those had that classic, again, like you were talking about, David, right on the border of that gross out 90s cool era design that made them instantly memorable. Now, there should be a folder, Russ, in
Yep, I got it pulled up.
You got it pulled up. So it was a second wave that was intended to be released, and you did hit it on the head a little earlier, David. Those ones never made the shelves. They would have brought more characters from the cartoon right to our toy box. So it's a little sad that it never happened. It was also intended to have that righteous indignation toy. There was 2 different versions that they kind of showed us as ones that could have happened. There's 2 files in that folder, Russ. One says Righteous Indignation 1 and 2.
Okay. Yep. So here's 1.
So this is in a Toy Fair catalog. This is a smaller looking one. That command pod comes off, but just kind of sits on the ground, more of a ship, fly around type ship, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we go to the other one, this one
Whoa,
here
wow.
is more playset style, right? Where it's sitting on the ground. It's got that holding it up, making that ship look like it flies, and you can turn around. Again, the command pod does detach from this one too.
Can we just talk about how huge that thing is?
Right?
With
Like,
the
look how-
child for scale.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Is like that's a big playset.
Yeah. Like that would have been so cool to get.
Wow. Okay. And this was supposed to be
Right.
a wave 2.
This was supposed to be a wave 2 is what
Interesting.
the information we're finding comes up with. So there was some
Mm.
prototypes, which we are definitely going to look at here. Ones like this here, where it's spacewalk
Oh
Bucky
wow, that's
O'Hare
cool.
with the line. So this would have been a wave 2. There was actually a wave 3 as well that had a few prototypes and a few things done as well. The top of this one, we can see 3 other ships
Oh, yeah.
or items that are looking like they would have come in that second wave.
Yeah.
So now there
They
is.
are-
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Keith, but now there is a carded Bucky that
There
exists for
is.
wave 2.
There's a couple carded. If we go through some more of these pictures, there's
Okay.
a couple
I wonder if
of
we
carded.
could find these at like
right
toy
here's
shows
this is
or
a wave.
something.
This is wave 2 here. They're bringing more
Mhm.
characters. They're bringing Jenny, which they didn't bring in the first one, the female character from
Yeah.
the Bucky O'Hare team, and a couple other really cool looking characters that would have, like the pink guy at the bottom.
Total Terror
been it.
Toad.
That would have been a cool figure to get.
Dude,
right?
I was just looking at that one. It totally reminds me of one of the Killer Tomatoes.
Right? That's cool.
I dig those. Yeah.
Right? We go to the neck, keep clicking through these. So there, see, we got a carded Jenny that was.
Wow.
It's out there
With
somewhere,
armor.
right? There's
Right.
probably one, right? Maybe who knows how many of these are actually exist.
Yeah, who knows?
There's some wrestling buddies for you, David. And then
Yeah.
another again, Toy Fair catalog showing. These
I'll have
toys.
to
We
look
had
for these when
prototypes.
we're in Chicago because there's the vendors that do come with a lot of Toy Fair catalogs or just
Yeah.
pre-production catalogs of like we picked up one, a Hasbro one. I should actually ask Cruz about it because Cruz I think just picked up I think it was Hasbro because they put out Computer Warriors
Okay, yeah.
possibly. So yeah, well, I'll have to look for some Hasbro ones. And what year would this have been? Do you know?
It's been 92, I believe, was what Wave 2 was
Okay.
planned for. But there's
Okay.
that Terror Toad there. Another cool
Yeah, so
one
these
again. Come
so
out on
these
a card
exist.
for Wave 2. They do, yep.
Wow.
And yeah, I think that might wrap us up a little bit on some of our I mean, they're out there. Obviously, they made prototypes, so
Yeah.
and that would have been such a cool playset to get, right?
Oh yeah.
So because the toy line was short-lived, it didn't have some of the longer runs as some of the other ones, like Ninja Turtles. But it was absolutely up against GI Joe's, Transformers, He-Man, stuff like that we would have had back then. But that's also what makes it special today. This is one of those toy lines that people do remember fondly. And not everyone had. A lot of people will say they had them, but not everyone had these, right?
Right.
Because of that, complete figures, vehicles, boxed items have become pretty collectible over time. Like we were talking about earlier, in 2017, Boss Fight Studios began to release new Bucky O'Hare action figures. Those came with updated molds featuring multiple points of articulation and interchangeable heads, hands, and faces in some instances, which is kind of cool. We can spot some of those, Russ. It's going to look exactly the same. They did a really good job of keeping the carded figures looking quite similar to what we saw before.
Yeah.
Just basically says boss fight toys on them, and they come with a bunch of different. Bucky has like a bunch of heads. They do release Jenny. There was stuff that they did put out. I think they might have been a little smaller than the original toys, but they did make a bit of a comeback.
Oh yeah.
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 Right.
Because I had seen when they were posting, like, oh man, they're making new ones. Like, the scopes look good.
And they're popular. Like, you go to toy shows, I mean, they sell pretty good. And they're not expensive figures. Like, if you buy them loose.
Yeah.
Like, they're not hard to collect for. The vehicles are going to be a lot harder to find, especially like with a box or something.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now, and some of the boxed ones go for like over $300.
Right.
In the box.
You're looking relatively cheap for loose figures. We start to get up there when we see some of the other carded figures.
Right.
That Bucky didn't even have ears.
I know, poor Bucky.
Oh,
$10.
Right.
Earless Bucky.
They're findable, but if you want them done out, you're going to be paying for them. So I guess for viewers, listeners, what did you guys think of the Bucky O'Hare toy line? Did you have any of these toys? Did you always want them? Like we were asking each other here, and just let us know in the comments what you think of the Bucky O'Hare toy line.
Good stuff for sure.
Have to look at those in Chicago, see if we could find some of those vehicles. We got to find that croaker.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to find that one.
Right.
Sweet guys. We're going to be getting into our main topic, talking about malls in the 90s. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll get into it.
Morning, itty bitty. Just what I need. Another little bald guy.
Pac-Man's moving up to a whole new world. Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary in 3D. The star's big new adventure.
Sunday, when the Simpsons hit the slopes.
This is the worst pain ever.
The slopes hit back. An all-new Simpsons. Then, TV Guide says, meet the Simpsons' new neighbors.
I'm not one to complain.
That's why we like you.
A family so twisted.
Drink your milk.
Slumpy.
Then chew it.
They almost make those cartoon mutants seem ordinary.
Honestly, Hal, you're like a monkey. Arms up.
Dude.
Malcolm in the Middle premieres Sunday. It all starts at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Manny's Arcade has what you need. Retro game magazines, controllers and accessories, even VHS tapes of classic movies from the 80s and 90s. And of course, he has a wide selection of retro and modern video games. Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and more. Check out Manny's Arcade and use code TheWeeklyWarpipe to save 15% off your order today. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, your pen. What are you taking notes?
I don't know.
Taking notes.
I was taking notes.
Gonna take mall rat notes.
I said Chicago, look for the croaker.
Perfect.
There you go.
Speaking of, I just watched recently Mallrats. It's on YouTube. The full movie. You can see it. I was like, what a throwback.
Classic, right?
Good movie. So good. That kid is back.
On the escalator again. Malls in the 90s. Hop in time for sure. Do we go into stories? Do we talk? Where do you want to dive into first? Stores?
Let's talk stores.
Did you guys spend a lot of time at the malls in the 90s? Was that?
Yes.
Because you guys would have been... Like, I'm a farm kid, so...
Oh, okay.
The malls in the 90s were we're going to get something. It's not. I wasn't hanging out at the mall.
Gotcha. So a little different
Like, to hear
experience.
What you
Right.
guys have to say, right?
No, we definitely hung out for sure.
Get dropped off by your parents or possibly take a bus, city bus there. And you're like, all right, today's mall day or whatever. You're going there Friday night and then pick me up at whatever closing time. But that was the destination in the event, essentially, because you could basically be inside and just go store to store to store to store. You don't have to worry about crossing roads to go to different stores and being traffic and all that stuff. One stop shop, right?
Yeah, I mean Russ had easier access to the mall. He lived closer to it than I did because I used to go to the same mall.
Oh, okay, you went to the
when we were
Milford Mall,
younger,
yeah.
Because when I was living in Hamden, that was closer to Milford than it was, going to Meriden or Trumbull or any of those other
Right, yeah.
So the Milford Mall was my mall growing up, as it was for Russ, even though Russ was probably like 10 minutes away, not even.
Yeah, and when I was young too, my mom worked at the bowling alley, which was fairly
Right
close to the mall. So oftentimes I'd go to work with her and we'd get there at 6 o'clock. She would get off of work at 1 a.m. So either I was walking to the arcade, which was a few blocks there. And then if I went even further, I can make it to the mall and then just hang out there and kill some time.
Right. And there was one thing at the mall, Russ, and I wonder if you have the same I don't know,
memory
of it, I guess I'll say, with the Milford Mall especially.
Yeah.
Meet me at the water fountain.
It's in the center.
It's in the center of the mall. It had the water fountain. It was right next to the elevator, right down from the food court. It was right there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the meeting place. Just meet me at the when you're
done.
Also,
to put it in perspective, right? Because then you're making plans at school, this and that, and it's either you had to call your friend before you left to go to the mall because we didn't have cell phones then, or how you're going to communicate. So you're like, all right, my mom's dropping me off, whatever, 7 o'clock,
right?
The fountain. Then we're together and then figure it out after that.
That's right. I mean, anywhere in the mall you could have said, hey, meet me at the KB Toys. I know that KB Toys was a big meeting place because KB Toys in that specific mall was near one of the main entrances where we used to park in the back. So you would go into the back, go up the stairs, and then straight down that hallway. There was a KB Toys on the corner, directly across from what was then Electronic Boutique,
right?
Which is now GameStop.
Yeah.
So KB Toys, that was the toy store there. Because Toys R Us was a good 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah, I mean, driving wise, a 5-minute drive up the street,
okay.
And that was there for quite some time. But if you wanted your toys in the mall, you're going to KB Toys for sure.
Guys, Keith, do you have any memorable stores that you had up there in Canada that maybe we didn't have?
Stores in malls?
Yeah.
There was always CD stores or the movie stores.
Okay,
right?
yeah, CD stores, yeah.
HMV or whatever it was. It was I remember getting CDs there. Cassette.
What was the name of it?
There, HMV, I think it was.
HMV.
I say we had FYE.
We had right.
I can't remember what it was.
HMV.
Right. I mean, Toys R Us, stuff like that. I have actually some sad news, guys.
Yeah, what's that?
Toys R Us in one of the cities close to us. I was just there the other day, and me and my buddy were walking around, and we're like, "Oh, a little bit of a mall day. I thought, let's go to Toys R Us." We walk up the doors, closed. It's gone.
This isn't the same one that has the statues that you mentioned, right?
It was. Yes, it's closed.
Where are the statues?
I don't know.
In there,
I don't
locked
know.
forever.
I never got a phone call. So they must have
We were literally just talking about that.
Wow.
I know. That's what I told my buddy. I was like, I was here a few months ago, and it was open, and I was looking at that statue, and now it's gone. So that is no longer in the mall here. With that.
You need to go and find out if that statue is still sitting on top of that.
They repainted that. I'm not touching that. That sounds like a bad idea.
Okay, well then get it for
HMV.
me. I'll pay the
Right.
What is it called?
Shipping, the tariffs.
Well, not the shipping, but yeah, the tariffs. Is that it there?
This was HMV. Yeah.
Store closing.
Yeah.
What is their logo? It's a dog listening to a phonograph.
That's like a Maxell thing, right? Like
RCA or whatever.
Is it RCA? Maybe it's RCA. I think you're right. That's like an RCA logo. That's interesting that they use that in the graphic.
Oh, is this what it stands for? His master's voice?
Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, because Sunrise Records bought them, and they had stores. And I think they're still kicking around now. But HMV was the big one. I have a memory of doing a science fair or something like that, and we ended up at the mall at when the Mortal Kombat movie was coming out, the first one. And the mall there. That's like my 90s memory of a mall, other than just going with my parents and begging them to buy me a toy on the way out, was going to this science fair thing, having our booths all set up in the center of the hallway, and then sneaking away from my booth and sneaking to, I believe it was HMV, and buying the soundtrack for the very first Mortal Kombat movie. That's my memory, and feeling like, I was free to go do that in the mall. I never got to go to the mall by myself and do this. I was able to do this, so that was my memory.
Keith, here's some information. You ready for this? In 1929, RCA absorbed the Gramophone Company, and in 1931 created EMI, which continued to own the HMV trademark in the UK until the 80s, and the HMV shops until 1998. So basically, RCA is HMV. The dog and the gramophone image are now licensed by RCA Records and his parent company, Sony Music Entertainment, from Technicolor SA.
There we go. Okay.
So there you go.
I bought the Mortal Kombat CD from RCA.
Which is now parent company, Sony Music.
Oh,
wow, weird. Now, I don't know if Russ remembers this, but I remember like a game changer happened in our mall.
Okay, game changer. The extension.
When they brought in Nobody Beats the Wiz.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember Nobody Beats the Wiz going through there, because you could also park outside and walk through Nobody Beats the Wiz to get into the mall.
Yeah, that was a game changer, because before that we had just FYE, which wasn't it something else before it was FYE? I want to say.
Yeah, I can't remember. If it was another music store.
I'm gonna look that up.
So that's what Nobody Beats the Wiz is a music store?
Electronic store?
Electronic store. So it sold CDs, it has sold media, it sold TVs and car stereos and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
FYE was Trans World Entertainment. FYE included Camelot Music, Sam Goody. I remember Sam Goody. Oh, Record Town. Wasn't there a Record Town? Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember.
And I guess they also owned Coconuts.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in North Haven.
Yeah, they had a Coconuts and a Strawberries. Keith, we named our music stores after fruits.
I was wondering, I was like, how does a company own coconuts? Like, just in general, like they own the trees or just the coconuts themselves?
Our music stores here in Connecticut were Strawberries and Coconuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, so that was. Now, what about your toy stores? Like, you had Toys R Us in the mall?
We had Toys R Us, yeah. And there was always, there was always the anchor stores and malls, right? So you'd have the big, like, Zellers or Sears or Toys R Us.
JCPenney.
Right, you always had these big anchor stores. So you would have had toys at all of those, right? We talked about a couple episodes ago going to some of those stores, and grabbing toys and going to the toy aisle. Upstairs,
Right.
go up the escalator, and then
Yeah.
through ladies there, and then around the corner, and then there's the toy aisles, right? And your mom would drop you off there. She'd go shopping, and I'd pick through the Transformers or the Masters of the Universe and decide what I was going to try to take home with me that day.
Nice.
But, yeah, we
Did you guys have KBs up there?
I never saw KBs, but I did do some looking when we did do that episode, and I think it was, but I think it was like a in another stores type thing for KBs.
Okay.
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 I've never seen a KB's toys. I've never seen a big KB toy store like that.
I don't think we've ever had like a KB's outside of a mall.
No, I don't remember one outside of the mall.
Stores?
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah. They were anchor stores then.
Yeah.
Which is that's why we're losing them, is because the anchor stores are shutting down.
Right.
We just there's nothing left to anchor those malls anymore, right?
Yeah, so there's 2 malls that are basically dead now, like officially over the past like several months. The one in Meriden, which is about 10 minutes away from my house, that is pretty much forget it. Like it's a ghost town. Like there's nothing left. FYE just left. No, there's literally maybe 2 stores open in the entire mall. Like that's how bad it is. And then another one that is very, very, very close is the Crystal Mall, which is in Watertown. I think it is. It's like over by New London. That's over an hour away from me. And I used to go to that mall all the time when I was in college because my college was about 10 minutes away from there. There's a big toy store that's in there currently that is called the Toy Vault, which they sell modern and vintage toys.
Oh, nice.
They're actually now getting out, and they're moving to the Foxwoods Casino. In their outlets. So, yeah, that mall after that mall is going to be completely gone too. It's crazy. It's insane.
Sad to see, right?
Yeah,
I got some stores to bring up if you're talking malls.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Spencer's. I don't know if you know what Spencer's is, Keith. You're Spencer's.
Yeah, we had Spencer's. Yeah.
I'm like, I felt like that's like you're a young kid going and you're like, all right, they got the wildest stuff in here. And even more where you shouldn't be looking at. Yeah. What is this edible underwear for? I don't know.
Who would eat their underpants?
Right.
You get cool psychedelic posters. I got the band Bush had a blacklight type poster that was pretty neat that I ended up picking up, and like alien stuff was like real big. So I had a bunch of alien posters, and they had stuff for like bachelorette parties. Definitely a wild store for sure. So you always had to go to Spencer's and check it out.
Spencer's is still open, so you could still go to the mall and visit Spencer's. Although it's for sure. And honestly, Russ, I don't think Spencer's has even changed.
They're just like same format.
It's the
same, it's the same format.
You can still get those same edible underpants.
Same ones.
From the 90s.
Because they ain't selling, so they're still there.
What else you got?
Hot Topic. Gotta mention Hot Topic.
And they're still open too.
A lot different now. A lot different from the 90s. You know, Hot Topic was... if you were grunge or goth, that's where you were going, getting your band t-shirts, studded collars, earrings or piercings. If you wanted to change those out, you were going there for that. Trying to think, did they have music? Would you be able to get music there? Can't remember.
Some of them did. Like some of them, even to today, have a very small section of vinyl records.
Okay.
It's not a lot. It's like a little nook. Sometimes at one point there was, it's kind of like it's not like going to an FYE or a record store or anything like that. It's like a little corner of the store that would have select music. Funny story about Hot Topic though is back in high school I went to Hot Topic and I bought a wallet.
With a chain on it.
With a chain.
Of course.
I still use that wallet to this day.
There we go. That's why they went out of business, because you never bought another one. It's one and done.
Well, here's the thing, like back then, they were real leather wallets. So like now they're like plastic.
Okay.
So my wallet is still holding strong. I just took the chain off, so it's got the little grommet.
Yeah. Yep.
Still on it, where it's got the. I don't have it here; it's upstairs. But yeah, it's got the little grommet where you would put the chain in there.
Yeah.
But I
That
still
chain
use
back on there.
that wallet. Is
bring
got
it
to be
back.
like what 30 years old, even more than that. It's crazy.
I should have dug out. I have studded belts. How to get your studded belt at Hot Topic. I was pop punk. Had to have the white studded belt and the black one so you can alternate.
Yeah, and they still sell those. And they still have them. I had the studded bracelet.
Okay. Yep.
So instead of a belt, you'd also do the bracelet.
So that was a staple for sure. What other stores? Obviously, Auntie Am's with the pretzels or Pretzel Time or any version of a pretzel store.
Yeah. They had what was the one that the cookie stand. They always had a cookie stand.
Yeah, they quote mall rats be like, it's an eatery. It operates outside of the food court.
Right. So it's not part of the food court.
It's not part of the food court.
Right. Well, here's a question for you guys. Like, do you prefer the food court, or do you prefer the mid-mall snacking?
I guess it depends. Depends on what I'm feeling. You're gonna be people watching if you're at the food court, right? And eating your food. But if I'm
like just hanging out at the food court, just sitting down for a few minutes and getting
still
some
like
food,
doing that.
or even if it's a snack, why not?
So I will say, Dave went to the same mall as me. Prime people watching food court at the Milford Mall in the 90s, because the food court was on like the third level and it overlooked the rest of the mall. So you could just look down into the second floor or the first floor and if you got one of those corner seats, you're like, I could see everyone, see what's happening.
I forgot that the food court was
Took the escalators up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then what was over there? JC Penney was on that side, was 3 floors. Because you could also go into JC Penney. Either JC Penney or what was the other? Macy's. I forget which one's on which side, but they were across from each other.
Now, since the mall was there in the 90s, Russ mentioned earlier that they now have expanded. So like
they did,
in the 90s, they did not have a movie theater that was attached to it.
Right.
And
that was standalone in the parking lot.
They made a brand new food court as well.
Yes.
So my question to you, Russ, because I have not been there in a while. Last time I was there, the new area was fairly hopping, but there was like nothing where the old mall was. Is that still the case, or is it kind of filled in?
Yeah, because of how you have like a transition where they built the new mall with some of the new stores. You could literally see like it's different flooring or whatever.
Right.
And most people are hanging out on that further side rather than the only thing that's on, because Sears closed, anchor store, like Keith said, Sears closed, and what's hopping next to it is a LA Fitness. They put that in there. So you got that, and you got Dave and Buster's. That's the only thing on that side of the mall. So people can enter those without going into the mall. So I feel like you don't see the traffic, right? They're not spilling out to go somewhere.
Because I remember when they closed the food court on the third floor.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, what's the point of coming to the mall anymore? Like, it's not even there. And also on that new side, there's now a full Target. So like,
right.
They added
there's your anchor store for that side. Yeah.
Right. So, but is there any stores still on the those two levels?
Oh, closer
on
back.
The old mall side?
Yeah. I mean, GameStop's on that still up, second floor up there.
But there's not much otherwise.
But it's like those random stores you got. Like your, I don't know, like carpet store or like tuxedo rental maybe in there. Like you're like, what is this? Couple shoe stores, right? Like Foot Locker.
Do they still cover the fountain when do they still have Santa Claus there?
Yeah, and they do the Easter Bunny and all that. That's the main focal point. So everything still happens there.
But they
so
took
they'll
out
prep
that
it.
food court in the middle. So now, in order to go to the food court, you got to go back all the
Yeah, you got to trek
way.
all the way down. Yeah, fortunately.
So it's a big area. It's a big area.
And they did have where FYE was across from it. I forgot the name of it, but there was a arcade in the mall.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Time something like Time Tunnel or Time Warp or something like that. But you had an arcade in the mall, and so there you go. You get dropped off. You do a little bit of arcading. You go get a pretzel. You make your way to the food court for dinner time. Your people watching, and then maybe walk around at some stores, kill some time at Hot Topic and Spencer's.
Yeah. I always liked it just because, like, actually at one point, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Russ. Was there a Funko Land in there at one point?
I don't think so. I think Funko Land was always across the street. I remember the GameStops.
Oh, okay.
But Funko Land was on another plaza.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I vaguely remember there a Funko Land somewhere over there, and I didn't know if it came out when... Unless, did they sell retro games? Well...
At FYE.
But
Later.
Did they sell them at Electronics Boutique for, like, pretty
cheap? Yeah.
So maybe that's what I'm confusing.
Maybe
it
you're
with.
thinking
I
Electronic
remember
Boutique.
going in there and them having, like, a... one of those, like, fenced-in table things where...
Right. Like you're the discount bin. Yeah.
Right. And some of the NES games were, like, 50 cents.
Yeah.
Nice.
I say not in the 90s, but there at one point there was 2 GameStops in the mall, one in the second level, one in the first level.
Oh.
I'm like, what is this nonsense? Can you call upstairs to see if they have this game? Like, I'm like, what is this nonsense?
I do remember that, yes.
But to stick with 90s, trying to think of any other stores that stood out.
I mean, typically when we were going, it was FYE,
yeah.
It was Spencer's, it was Hot Topic, it was KB Toys, it was Electronics Boutique. Like, that was pretty... And when I say Electronics Boutique, like I said before, that is now GameStop.
Right.
EB Games. Oh, so it went from Electronics Boutique to EB Games. Then to GameStop.
Yeah.
Man,
I do remember going... Like Dave said, we didn't have a movie theater attached, so it was in the parking lot. It was a fourplex.
Right.
And I remember going to see Star Wars Episode 1. And I had a group of friends, and we bought lightsabers, and we went to the theater. And I remember in the theater putting out the lightsabers and just... going nuts and cheering and stuff and having a good time. I remember that, and I remember when Lilo and Stitch came out, the cartoon one,
yeah.
and and we went to the Disney store, which was in the mall, and I bought a Lilo. I bought a Stitch plushie there. So the Disney store was another, big one we would go through and see all the cool like Disney merchandise or plushes and shirts and stuff.
And the Disney store now does not exist in the West Farms Mall. They took it out completely there as well.
Gotcha.
But, Keith, so we have another mall. Oh, I think Keith's on a call there. But the West Farms Mall, I don't know, Russ, if you've been there lately.
No.
That place is always packed. We were there this past weekend.
Yeah.
He needed to get a new pair of sneakers. And they got the Lego store. They got a Build-A-Bear.
Okay.
They've got Hot Topic still. They got an Urban Outfitters. They got 3 or 4 different sneaker stores, which I always love to go into.
Right.
They got your Champs, their Foot Lockers.
What about Journeys? I don't know if Journeys was 90s, but I got a lot of Saucony sneakers, that brand there.
I think Journeys is still around.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it was a 90s thing or not, but...
Oh, I got one for you. Today they call it just Pac Sun.
Pacific Sun.
Pacific Sun.
Is that a beverage? I feel like that's a beverage. Is that an orange juice drink?
You go there to get your Billabong shirts, your freaking...
It was your sweet shop, basically.
Yeah, basically.
But
yeah,
now
I
they
do
have
remember.
Zoomies.
Yeah.
Where you could actually buy a skateboard, they could build it for you, and they have all the skate stuff.
Right.
Like that.
Well, that's a good thing to almost bring up where you're going to the malls like this, right? And you have your faction. Are you a grunge kid? You're going. Me and Dave are kind of like, I guess, similar music tastes. So we gave you our route. But maybe if you're a preppy kid, you're hitting up Abercrombie and Fitch, right? You're going
Gap.
You're going to the Gap. Like very different.
Going to Hollister.
That's right, Hollister. Those ones there. Like we wandered in there, but we didn't belong with our Jenko jeans and chains. And you're like, what is this?
All I remember is the smell.
Oh yeah. They're pumping the perfume or
cologne smell, and I'm like, no, I like get a headache just walking by it.
That's certainly a staple on that.
Makes me feel itchy.
What about? We'll touch on, because this was a staple when I was on tour. They got all the shops, the kiosks of like the people selling stuff in the middle of the mall that you're going through, right?
Right.
Maybe it's like hand lotion. But when we were on tour with my band, we were in Tennessee. We had an off day, so we went to the mall, and we were walking through the mall with a CD player and some headphones. So we were trying to like sell our CD to people, get some gas money and such not. And we ended up coming across a few people. One was selling the ShamWow. They were doing a demonstration. You know, this is how you do the ShamWow. And we were chatting with them. And we came in. No, it wasn't Vince. It wasn't. He was doing Slap Chop by then.
Slap Chop.
But then we came across a person who was selling this like hand wash from the Dead Sea, and it would like cleanse your hands of like dead skin, and we were chatting with him, and he was like so excited. He ended up buying our CD. It was his first CD purchase in America. He had came over from whatever country he was, got a job there, and didn't know too many people, and we were chatting with him, and it was so great. And I think we did a trade with the lady, ShamWow, for our CD there. But I remember those, like the T-shirt maker. You make your own T-shirt. Yeah, so I remember getting one of those. Yeah, for sure, were super fun. A lot of people could, they have the pictures of like the family or whatever you want. You're like, oh man, you could get your own T-shirt made. This was like cutting edge, so easy to do now. We take it for granted. I could just easily make any shirt now. But then I remember I had my aunt get me for my birthday. My band back then was called Hit or Miss, and we got a T-shirt, and I had a little like Target symbol on the breast pocket that said Hit or Miss, and then on the back it was like a little bit bigger. And it was such a big deal to get it like made at the mall.
Sure. Wow. What was I gonna say? There's I lost my train of thought. Moving on.
Mall experience in the 80s and the 90s. Sounds like you guys had a better mall experience than I did. I kind of wish I could have lived in...
You darn farm boy.
Darn.
Well, you know what? Maybe when we go out to SoCal, we'll find a mall, and we'll take Keith on an adventure.
We've still got malls. We got malls here. I go to the mall, but it's just not when I was that age. I wasn't at the fountain after school.
That's it.
It's fair. Yeah. It's fair.
That's sweet. Well, it's fun diving back into the malls in the 90s. Hopefully you guys have some stories, or let us know in the comments down below, maybe which your favorite store was, or some things that you picked up at the mall. All right, we're going to get to some quick voicemails. I think I have one voicemail that I downloaded. Let's see if it's
Did Rob
I got
tell
one
you that?
I think so, because this was a few weeks ago and I didn't get to throw it in there. So I was like, all right, little remember to that. So let's see what Rob says here.
Oh, it looks like we have a voicemail. Let's see who called into the show this week.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
Hey guys, Scott here, aka Another Bald Nerd. Just thought I'd call and leave you guys a voicemail. In regards to last week, the box art, if you really want to go wild, check out the Famicom Disk System artwork for Zelda 1 and 2, and also the Super Famicom Link to the Past box art. Those get pretty crazy. And then in regards to the toy topic for this week, for toys that should without video games, just a few. I'm just going to name a couple lines that I thought would have been interesting with video games. What about Boglins? That would have been an interesting one. Or even, I know Voltron, the original Voltron didn't get really any video game representation.
Yeah.
Or to go even stranger, the 80s toy line Ninja Assassins / Ninja Defenders. Ninjas were so huge in the 80s and 90s that that could have been a hit. But who knows? We'll never know. Anyways, guys, keep up the great work. Bye.
Sweet.
Yeah, a Voltron game would have been sick, dude. That like a whole mech game of just like Voltron.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. I wonder what you would do for a Boglins game, though.
I don't know. Yeah, what that would be like. Try to base it off of something.
I wonder if it'd be like a Pokemon game, right?
Oh,
like you have to find
okay.
the Boglins.
Yeah,
that could work.
You train them to fight.
Maybe
we'll never know.
I don't know. Let's call Tim Clark and get on it.
Get on it. I think we have a do yourself a favor as well from Jay to keep you updated on this playlist he's got going.
What's up, my weekly War Pipers? It's the 4th week in a row you've seen me in this outfit because I'm batching these videos. Anyway, do yourself a favor and listen, not with a D, listen to the song Something Vague by Bright Eyes. I'm going to read you some lyrics. It says, now and again it seems worse than it is, but mostly the view is accurate. You see your breath in the air as you climb up the stairs to that coffin you call your apartment, and you sink in your chair, brush the snow from your hair, and you drink the cold away. If that doesn't remind you of winter, nothing does. So do yourself a favor and listen to Something Vague by Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes is an amazing band. Love so many of their songs. Can't say enough good things about Bright Eyes. Anyway, do yourself another favor. Follow me on TikTok here. Or right here on YouTube, where I'm uploading shorts more recently and hopefully some long-form content soon. I don't know why I had to say it like that. Also, do us a favor and give us a call. And last week I was going on about, tell us about your romantic outings. I don't know. Tell us whatever you want. Tell us about your day at the park. Tell us about your long handholds. Is that, I don't know, is that romantic? Tell us about picking flowers. I don't care what you tell us about. Tell us about something. Give us a call. Tell us about video games. That's really what we want to hear, right? Tell us how good Russ looks in the pale moonlight. All right, I'm done. All right. Peace out, Weekly War Pipers.
I wonder if that's the last.
You do look pretty good in the pale moonlight.
Cue the lighting. Let's go. Also, I like how he's putting the we're in now spring, but he's still giving us the winter playlist, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, I wonder almost if did last week throw us off because
he was on the show.
On the show, I don't remember because I think we did play one of his.
I think we did, but him just bat shooting it. It's whatever.
Yeah, right. Whatever. We're gonna get to spring.
Is. We'll get there.
Right.
All right, Keith. What do we got? We got a new segment we're talking about.
Oh, new segment. First level feels. We're gonna look at the very first level of video game, and we're gonna talk about how it makes us feel. Talking about feeling. Go ahead, Russ.
Perfect. First level feels.
I feel good.
I love it, Russ. I love what you did there.
That's pretty good.
Awesome. All
Had
right,
to.
Russ. Let's play our very first level feels.
Perfect. Here we are. Is there supposed to be sound or anything? Oh yeah, here we go. Super Mario Brothers.
Right? Here we go. What is this? How does this make you guys feel? David, it might not hit quite as hard as maybe it does with Russ as you were a Sega guy, but
What are you talking about? I had an NES.
Nintendo did it.
I didn't have a
Okay,
Super
you just did
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo it. All right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think I've told the story about Christmas of receiving a power set.
You did. You're right. You did. I just was excited for the next one then. Sorry.
And we did not play this until the next day
Okay.
of having the system set up, because the first night my brother, sister, and I with my dad played World Class Track Meet, and then the
Instead.
next day my dad went to work, and that's when we all kind of, my brother, sister, and I played the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Was there another one too, or did you say, or just this one?
We're just
Okay.
there's more in the future. That was our
okay.
very first level. We could play it over again without sound if you want.
Yeah, let's
Russ.
play it over
We can
again,
talk
and
about
maybe we'll just mute it.
I don't know if the sound is affected here on screen, so I guess we'll see.
Let's try it out.
For viewers, if we can't hear it, hopefully you can't either. But yeah, the first level of Super Mario Brothers. I mean, my dad got me the NES, so I definitely remember sitting on his bed, because we had it hooked up in his bedroom on the TV, and looking, the TV was on the taller dresser, and just going through that game and being like, whoa, this is like leagues above Atari.
Right.
I had at my mom's house, I had my hand-me-down Atari from my cousins, and then just getting this, like, so much more to the worlds, right? Atari's usually one screen, maybe you can move Keystone Capers, you're kind of running through the mall there, but like with this, totally new, and I was like, this is awesome. So definitely had a great time. I mean, playing this first level, that first Goomba probably killed more gamers than we know, not knowing, like, I got to jump on them. You just run right into them, or you misplace the jump and you get hit, and you're like, come on.
I mean, the game, like, this level taught you straight up, like, how to play. Like, you needed
Right from
to
the start.
You
Right.
needed to
Right.
jump over the Goomba. You had to hit the question blocks. You have a potential to go down a pipe. Right.
Right. And those, it shows the question mark blocks before you get them. They're intriguing because they're flashing, right? So that tells you, like, oh, I want to hit this, right? It's something shiny, and then you're like, oh, something comes out of these, so I want to look for these more in the level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I never had an Atari or a Master System or any of that stuff. So, like, this was my first experience with any kind of platformer game like this, left to right,
Right,
up down, all around, doing all that stuff, finding the secrets, finding the hidden one up after the third pipe before you do the jump to get the fire flower.
Yep.
And then being able to go down one of those pipes, and then you get all the coins, and then you're actually transported, like, further
A little
down.
further down, yeah.
So that was a whole thing too. Yeah, and then I remember the first time, I mean, I know it's not the first level, but in the second level, riding up the elevator to get the warp pipe. You know what I mean? So, like,
Well, it teaches you in the first level, you really need to explore these levels. There's a lot to find.
Yeah.
And it gives you that base. You're like, oh, well, you could go down the pipes. Now I got to try every pipe on all the levels. Or, like, there's secret bricks that give you power-ups and this and that.
And then also always trying to end the level on a 3, a 6, or what was the other one? A 1. So you can get the
fireworks here at the end. Yeah.
And then how many times, guys, did we try to jump over the flag?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's, like, rumors in the playground. I made it over. Like,
Yeah,
Right?
I'm gonna jump over, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna jump me right back onto it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was the lore. Uh, but I also have a distinct memory of this uh, level because I played this during the Blockbuster Video World
Oh,
Championship.
right.
Okay.
You had to get through this level the fastest.
The fastest,
Like,
yeah.
I practiced it, all week because I had a time slot to
Oh,
go to
gotcha.
Blockbuster Video to do my time and like get through it. I didn't do too well. You kind of like, the pressure's on you. And
Right. Yeah, the live, like,
whatever.
I got to do it live.
Right. Now I got to do it live. But like, yeah, so I have a distinct memory of having to prepare for that, which I think
Nice.
is pretty cool. And I
Yeah.
still have I think I still have the button. Yeah, the button is right here.
Oh, that you got from Blockbuster from doing the
Yeah, the
challenge.
World Game Championship, 1994.
Nice. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it was way past when it came out, but yeah, there it
Yeah.
is. That's the actual pin that I got from Blockbuster that time.
Nice.
Pretty sweet. And I still have the
So-
brochure as well, like the booklet where they would tell you all the games that are in it so you knew what to prepare for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
definitely
so I have a lot. Yeah. Pretty cool.
a cool level, right? Like you said, trains you how to play it, shows you what to do, and for a lot of us, this was our very first experience with Mario. So getting to learn what he could do, getting the fire flower, getting the star, getting the mushroom, all that stuff is all jammed into this first level. And
It also taught you how to what's the word I'm looking for? Oh man, it almost like every time you played it, you wanted to perfect it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So optimize it. You wanted
Okay.
to
Yeah.
figure out how to optimize the level the fastest you can, like
Mhm.
which blocks to jump off that'll make you go faster or whatever. And then, first time you kick a Koopa shell. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's great. It's great.
It's quite the iconic first level for our very first level feels.
Yeah.
One we all probably have good memories of, right?
Yeah.
Quick question,
I'm
Keith.
guessing-
What is your story with getting an NES?
We were in a store in one of the local towns here. It was like a catch-all store. There was groceries, stuff like that. My sister and my mom were walking around buying whatever they were buying, groceries or something, and me and my dad were walking around. We came around a corner, and there was a wall of the action set. So my dad was all about getting it, talking my mom into getting it. I just remember seeing this wall of Nintendos, brought it home, and played Super Mario Brothers for the very first time, and fell head over heels in love with it. And it was I was a Mario kid for the rest of my childhood, just because of that one moment. So that's my
So you had an
first experience.
You had an action set, so you had Duck Hunt and
Duck Hunt, yeah. We had the combo cart.
Super Mario
So-
Bros.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what did you have, Russ?
Yeah, that one. Yep.
You had the
Action
same
set.
one.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys have the red or the gray zapper?
I'm pretty sure it was the gray one. Yeah.
The gray
Mine
one?
was the orange or the red one, yeah, whatever.
The orange one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Well, I had the power set, so the power set was mine with the power pad, and we did have a gray zapper.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So we had world class track meet, Super Mario Brothers, and Duck Hunt.
The trifecta.
Right. I'm excited for the next one for you, David. I'm excited for the next
For
time.
me?
For reels. Yeah, for you. For you.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
What could it be?
Sweet guys, thanks for hanging out with us on the weekly Warp Pipe. That's wrapping up this episode. Hopefully, it brought some nostalgia to you, diving back in, chatting about these topics here. What are we getting into? Let's see. Warp Pipe rental. Keith, what are we renting next week?
We are renting Goof Troop on the Super Nintendo. Great game. Super fun. Definitely check it out. Check it out by yourself or with a friend. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. And then Dave, next week we got what topic we're jumping into?
Oh, we got a fun one next week. Everyone's got to leave a comment. We got to hear about what your best couch co-op games are the 16-bit era.
16-bit era. Okay.
We're going past the NES. We're going past the 8-bit. We want to know like your Super Nintendos, your Sega Genesis. I don't want to hear about your 32X.
What about your Goof Troop? That's couch co-op right there, baby.
That's fast.
There's sometimes a method to our madness.
Right?
Nice. Good stuff for sure. If you guys want to, let's see, actually, quick shout out. We'll do a quick shout out to our channel members. I got, let's see, where are we here? This guy to here. Shoot. Nope. This, that one. Where is it? There we go. Show it. Perfect. Austin Mills, Fox River Retro, Jody55, Jared Connor, Manny's Arcade, Mike 7399, and Vamp 6463. Thanks so much for supporting us on YouTube as channel members. You guys rock. Don't forget to call into the show 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. Leave us a voice message. And then if you guys want to support what we do individually, you can do so. Keith, where can we find you?
Retro Cart Collector on YouTube occasionally. Retro Cart Collector on Instagram. Try my best to get motivated to edit a video. Promise it's going to happen. David, where do they find you?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube as well. That is Dave. It's me. Put out weekly videos on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. So listen to the podcast and then head over to my channel for a new video. Finishing up the Indiana trip this week. And then in a few weeks, guys, we go to Chicago. So there's going to be lots of stuff coming up. So yeah, lots of cool things happening. How about you, Russ?
Yeah. You guys can check out, I got a new video on the Russ Lyman channel. If you want to check it out, I did a NES Jason themed Advantage controller. So you can check out Russ Lyman. I got that up on the channel. And my next one's going to be a Rescue Rangers themed NES controller. So stay tuned for that. And you can check me out for retro game stuff on Russly. There's new videos every week and live streams multiple times a week. You can catch me on there. We're creeping up on our 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't checked it out already, consider doing so. That's about it, guys. Wraps it up. Appreciate you guys being here and jumping in the warp pipe with us. And we will see you on the next level.